Imagine having everything you've worked for snatched away, not by your competitors, but by the man you trusted to help you grow. The McDonald's empire. It wasn't always golden arches and billions of burgers. It was a story of two brothers' big dreams, a ruthless salesman, and betrayal that changed everything. Buckle up, because this roller coaster ride is going to take you through highs, lows, and one hell of a betrayal. It all began in the 1920s when Richard and Maurice McDonald left their small-town roots for the glitzy lights of California. They didn't make it in movies, but they did something that would change the fast food game forever. They opened McDonald's Barbecue, a drive-in where customers never had to leave their cars. Imagine the scene. People cruising up in their cars, ordering hot dogs, and enjoying the convenience of dining without leaving their vehicles. The simplicity of it seemed genius. The brothers were running a successful little joint, but there was a twist that would change the course of history. By the 1940s, they figured out something huge. 80% of their sales came from just one item, the humble hamburger. This revelation made them rethink everything. So they did something crazy. They scrapped their whole menu and introduced a fast food system that would change the world. The speedy service system was like an assembly line for burgers. Instead of taking orders from waiters or waitresses, customers could walk up to the counter and get their meal in a flash. The food came out fast, minus 15 seconds flat. People loved it. The brothers were revolutionizing the way food was served. But instead of expanding, they just kicked back, enjoying their success. They were living their best lives, having created something unique. But then, a man entered the picture. And trust me, this is where things get wild. Ray Kroc wasn't your typical businessman. At 52, he was diabetic, in bad health, and had lost more organs than most people lose socks. But what he lacked in physical health, he made up for in hustle. For years, Kroc sold milkshake machines. One day, he saw something that would change everything. A tiny burger joint in San Bernardino had ordered not one, not two, but 8 of his machines. Curious, he made a beeline for this place. And when Kroc walked into that restaurant, his mind was blown. The speedy service system wasn't just a quick way to serve food, it was genius. Kroc knew instantly that he had found something bigger than he could have ever imagined. He knew this could be the next big thing. But there was a problem. The McDonald brothers weren't interested in expanding. They were happy with their one restaurant. But Kroc, he wouldn't give up that easy. He saw what they had, and he was going to make it his. Kroc was relentless. He pushed the brothers into a partnership, convincing them to let him handle the franchising. They agreed, thinking they'd just sit back and collect the checks, living the good life. But Kroc had bigger plans. He didn't just want to expand. He wanted to dominate. He opened his first McDonald's in Illinois, making sure everything was perfect. The place was spotless, the service impeccable, and the burgers were flying out like clockwork. It wasn't just about burgers. It was about making the franchise owners succeed. If the franchisees thrived, so would Kroc. And that's when Kroc realized the deal he'd made wasn't going to cut it. He was getting just 1.4% of each store's revenue. That wasn't enough. So Kroc got clever. Instead of relying solely on burger sales, he turned McDonald's into a real estate empire. He started leasing the land to the franchisees, making money off rent in addition to royalties. This was a game changer. Kroc was no longer dependent on burger sales. Now he was collecting rent on top of everything else. Now he was in control. But there was one thing left to do. Cut out the McDonald brothers completely. And that's exactly what he did. As the empire grew, he made sure to slowly, but surely, push the brothers aside. In 1961, Kroc had had enough. He called the brothers up and made them an offer they couldn't refuse. He wanted to buy them out. The McDonald brothers, thinking $2.7 million was a fair price, agreed. It seemed like a win-win situation for everyone. But here's where Kroc played them. They thought they'd still get their 0.5% royalty, but Kroc didn't put that in writing. The brothers trusted him, thinking everything was in good faith. And once the deal was done, he never paid them a cent. That handshake, it cost the McDonald brothers billions. They thought they'd get the deal they deserved, but Kroc had no intention of honoring their agreement. But Kroc wasn't done. He opened a McDonald's right next to their original restaurant. And just like that, he crushed them. The McDonald brothers were out, and Kroc was now the founder of McDonald's, erasing their legacy in the process. Cold? Absolutely. Effective? You bet. The brothers had no choice but to watch as their creation was turned into something they could never have imagined, something that would grow far beyond their control. Fast forward to the 1990s, and McDonald's was running a massive promotion, the Monopoly game. Customers could peel stickers off their food and win prizes, cars, cash, and even a $1 million jackpot. It was brilliant. The crowds went wild. The promotion was a marketing genius move, bringing in hordes of customers and driving record sales. But here's the kicker, it was all rigged. A security officer at the third-party company managing the contest found a way to steal the winning pieces and sell them to criminals, including members of the Italian mafia. And for years, McDonald's had no idea that most of their major prizes were going straight into the hands of criminals. The FBI cracked the case in the early 2000s, and suddenly, McDonald's was facing a $24 million scam. The real winners, not the customers, but the criminals. Talk about a heist. McDonald's had no idea that their own promotion was being manipulated, and they were forced to pay millions in damages and compensation. If the Monopoly scandal wasn't enough, the release of Supersized Me in 2004 hit McDonald's hard. The documentary followed Morgan Spurlock as he ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days. The results? He gained 27 pounds, his cholesterol skyrocketed, and he even had liver damage. McDonald's found themselves in the crosshairs of public opinion. The documentary brought to light the dangers of fast food and the effect it had on public health. McDonald's responded by quietly removing the Supersize option and launching a Go Active campaign. They tried to show they were part of the solution, promoting healthier options, but they were in damage control mode, and they knew it. But even with the scandals and betrayals, McDonald's didn't just survive, they thrived. Today, McDonald's is one of the biggest companies in the world. But here's the twist. They aren't really a fast food company. They're a real estate empire that happens to sell burgers. Ray Kroc may have been ruthless, but his vision turned McDonald's into an unstoppable force. The McDonald brothers. Well, their revolutionary service system paved the way for the fast food industry. But their story ended in betrayal. And that, my friends, is the crazy, emotional roller coaster ride of McDonald's rise to global domination. From mafia games to the Monopoly heist, betrayal, and public scandals, McDonald's has weathered it all. What do you think? Is Ray Kroc a genius or a villain? Should the McDonald brothers have seen it coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more insane stories like this one. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.